am here with the frontman of Jack's Mannequin, Andrew McMahon. Welcome to Top 20. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
I was admiring your socks, which I'd like to point out. I feel like you can tell a lot about a man from his socks.
You know, I'm the kind of guy that usually I'm most comfortable in a pair of sandals. You know, I grew up on the beach, and that's kind of the thing. So if I have to wear shoes, I try and keep it fun.
Well, it says a lot because mandals are hard to pull off, but you rock them.
Again, it's a very specific thing, and it's definitely a beach deal.
Beach only.
You know, but
beach or bust with the mandals.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough.
Anyway, so you are touring right now in support of people and things.
Yes.
And on this album in particular, the subject matter definitely took a different direction. You know, some of the previous Jack stuff was more about makeups and breakups, but this album was definitely diving deeper into significant relationships, of course, marriage.
Yes.
So why was this important for you to share?
I think it's because it's what I'm living right now.
Right.
You know, I've tried always to be really honest about the place I'm at in my life with the songs that I write. You know, from back to the days with Something Corporate when it was, you know, we were in high school, and you know, you're writing about what it's like to be a young kid growing up and doing your high school thing. You know, and sort of every record I feel like is just kind of has been representative of that moment in my life. You know,
right.
You know, whichever that is. And so for me, you know, I really wanted to talk about some of these deeper, more personal relationships and what they look like as you start, you know, sort of growing into them. And yeah, that's the direction.
So the themes evolve as you evolve, of course. It's a natural progression.
Yeah.
But I had read also you were perhaps a little skeptical about how fans would receive the material since it was a little heavier.
Yeah, I mean,
But by the way, it still managed to be top 10 on Billboard.
Yeah,
so
thank
congrats.
you. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I think I try to, you know, like I said, I try to talk about what's relevant to me at the moment. But of course, you want it to relate to people, you know. And so when you dig into a subject matter that maybe not everybody's living, certainly, you know, there can be fear there. But I think the reality is, I mean, it's like my last record, a lot of it is about, you know, being in a hospital room. And I don't think, you know, everybody can relate to that either. I think as long as there's some sort of universal truth running through a song, that's what connects people to it, not that they've lived the exact same situation.
No,
that's the hope, at least.
Of course, and just being real. And I think that's what people appreciate most.
Yeah, and that's what we try for.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Let's talk about the production of the album. So you worked with Rob Cavallo on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you worked with Rob, who's one of the best producers. He worked with everyone from Green Day, Kid Rock, Paramore, Goo Goo Dolls, everyone. Yeah. So talking about the production process, but then you actually went back in and did some stuff on your own, or?
It was kind of, it was actually kind of a multi-layered production process.
Yeah.
There were early sessions that revolved just around the writing of the songs, and I did a lot of kind of early versions of these songs that at first maybe it was going to be on the record, maybe this would be the record, and eventually I sort of scrapped those early versions but kept a lot of the songs. And then I started with Bobby and Jay, who've been playing in my band with me for, God, 7 years now. Bobby had also played with Something Corporate at the end as well, and I said, let's kind of take this back to something a little bit more, just something a little bit more natural. Like, I have these songs, I like a lot of the production ideas, I like a lot of the rhythms and the things that have come out, but let's learn to play them together. You know, we know we're going on the road. Yeah. So we did that, and we did that with an amazing producer engineer, a guy named Jim Scott. He worked with. He's done Wilco Records. He was on Tom Petty's Wildflowers album as an engineer.
One of my favorite albums of all time.
Mine too. And he had Chili Peppers, done a lot of the modern Chili Peppers stuff as an engineer. So he gets a good band sound, and it's what he does so well, is cultivate an environment where you can play the song live together and get a great take. And
I think it all worked out flawlessly and seamlessly, which is the coolest thing, because you had a little bit of everything. It started in one place and then it evolved into this place that's so personal and real.